Well, good evening, y'all. Welcome to Apron Strings. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm so happy to have you on my channel and in the kitchen with me. I just cook Southern food, casseroles, vegetables, whatever, cakes and cookies and pies and good stuff. And I raise a garden out back, and sometimes I show you my garden, and I play the piano every now and then, just old style Southern gospel music, country gospel music. So it's a little bit of a mix that you get here, but I'm glad that you're here with me because I have fun doing this. And I had told y'all in the last video that I was going to cook something good. Well, I'm going to make some smothered chicken. And I went and looked in the deep freeze, and I had some drumsticks. So not going to be a whole chicken today, it's going to be drumsticks. But I'm going to show y'all what I do. I've got just enough oil in the bottom of my pan that I can kind of brown my chicken. And then I'm going to put the lid on it and let it cook until it's tender. I'm going to brown it on both sides. So let me get my seasoning out. Another thing, when I cook chicken, I like to soak it ahead of time in buttermilk. That takes that old strong chickeny smell, taste out of it. Just makes it taste better. So I'm going to drain the buttermilk off and pat my chicken dry and season it and dust it with flour, and then I'm going to brown it. I'm not putting a big batter on it like I would if I fried it. I'm just going to put a little flour on it and brown it and let it cook down. And when you put the lid on it and it kind of has that condensation in there, it's so moist and good. So I'm going to show y'all what I do. I'll be back in just a minute. I'm just going to pick my chicken up out of this buttermilk and just dry it just a little bit. I want enough left on there for my seasoning and all to stick, but I don't want it just sopping wet. And when my mom used to deep fry her chicken, she would dip it in flour and then buttermilk and back in flour after she'd seasoned it. And oh, it made the best crunchy batter on that fried chicken. But my friend had cooked some of this the other day and had me over to eat, and I thought, man, I've never done that on my channel, and I'm going to do it so y'all can see how good it is. My paper towel's getting kind of full. It's not drying much off now. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this, and I will get my flour over here, and I'll be back to get finished with what we're doing. I always season my chicken, but I'm also going to season my flour. I'm going to put a little onion and garlic powder in it, and I'll also put some on the chicken. I'm just shaking some in there, not a lot. A little bit of salt. A little bit of black pepper. And I'm just going to stir that around. Try to mix it some in this fine china plate here. Okay. I've cooked some butter peas, and I got some boiled okra that I had blanched out of the deep freeze, and I cooked collard greens, and I'm making cornbread to go with it. So I'm going to have a good meal all by myself. But every once in a while I do that. I just treat myself to something good. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle on. If you hold it up a little higher, it spreads out a little bit more. I like chicken. Chicken and stuff made with hamburger is my favorite. I'm not a big fan of steak. Never have been. I do like a roast every now and then. And I'm going to put a little bit of flour on each one of these to try to seal my seasoning before I flip it over. And then I'll dip them again just to be sure they're floured. And I try when I turn them over to lay them somewhere that they weren't already laid, where it won't be so wet, and get my goodie off of there. And rinse my hand and start on that side. Move this buttermilk out of the way. And that'll just be poured out. I don't use that again for anything. Onion powder going on. Garlic. Some salt. And some more black pepper. My oven has an automatic thing on it that if I put it like on 500, it'll kick it on to cool, and I've got it ready to make cornbread. So that, if y'all can hear that, that's what it is. I'm gonna get these rolled in the flour, get my grease hot, sear them in there, and then put the lid on and let them cook down. They're gonna be so yummy with my good old country meal tonight. You know what I wanted to go with it, but I didn't have it? I wanted a cucumber and tomato salad, but I didn't have the stuff to make it. You kind of have to plan ahead for that. You don't usually just have a cucumber in the refrigerator. I got some blooming out there in my garden, though. It won't be long, I'll have plenty. I was looking out the window a while ago, and a sheriff drove up out there, and I thought, well, what in the world? He was hunting somebody that had given this address and said they used to live here. We've been here 50 years. They didn't live here. They were lying. All right, let me clean my hands up and get my oil hot, and we'll get these in the skillet. Okay, my grease is hot enough, so I'm rolling them in the flour just a little bit more. I'm just going to put them in here to brown. They're going to be so flavorful. And I'm using olive oil. Y'all can use vegetable oil or whatever you choose. Troy always liked drumsticks, so I usually kept drumsticks, so if he got to wanting some fried chicken, I would have what he liked. Alright, I'm going to let that brown, then I'm going to turn it over and brown the other side. I'll show y'all. Then I'm going to put the lid on it and just let it cook for probably 30 minutes, and then I'll check if it's done yet. Okay, I'm going to pick it up and make sure that it's brown, and it is. So I'm just going to turn it all over. And brown the other side. And then I'll put the lid on it and just let it cook a few minutes until it gets done. I'll be back. Sometimes I'll turn them on their side if there's a side that has it browned real good. Because I like for it to be browned all the way around. Okay, y'all, I've got it on a medium low. I'm just going to put the lid on it, turn it on down to low, and just let it cook until the chicken is done. I'll bring y'all back and show you. Okay, y'all can see it's real brown. It's very tender. And I'm going to take it up and just put it on a metal rack to drain and cover it with foil to keep it warm. Just be back in just a minute. Okay, y'all, I got it on the rack where the skin and all won't pull off, sticking to something else, so like paper towel. I've got company coming for supper. I decided I didn't want to eat by myself, so I called some friends and they're going to stop by. So I'm just going to cover it back up to keep it warm, but I wanted y'all to see what it looks like when it's on the rack, and it's finished. It's fall apart tender. It's
I
delicious.
hope y'all try to make you some of the smothered chicken. Now you know you can use any pieces that you want to, and even cutting a chicken breast up and making chicken tenders turns out real good. It's just about time for my company to get here, so I'm going to stir some cornbread up and get it in the oven where it'll be hot when they get here. We're having collard greens and butter peas. New potatoes that I had canned, and I just put them in a pan, add some butter, add a little bit of cream to it, and then thicken it with cornstarch, and it's like creamed potatoes and gravy. And then we're going to have boiled okra. So we're going to have a good southern country meal tonight, and I'm going to have fellowship. I'm not going to have to be here by myself. That is a blessing. I'll see y'all again in a day or two. I'm trying to get back to normal, and I hope y'all enjoy the video. Share my channel, help it to grow, and I will do my part to the best of my ability. The good Lord bless and keep y'all, and I'll see you shortly.